Hi, everyone. It's Karissa from Shining Light on Minnesota. Super excited. We have a very special guest with us today, David from MBEX. For those of you that don't know, we'll let David introduce himself and tell us a little bit about where he's been.
Thank you. Thanks for the opportunity to be here. It's just a privilege. Try to impart a little bit of information about the commercial construction industry and tell you a little bit about the Builders Exchange.
Absolutely.
I'm the executive director of the Exchange. I've been there just about 3 years. Prior to that, I spent just about a dozen years with the Residential Construction Association.
Yeah, Housing First.
Housing First. So those are the home builders. Mm-hmm. Very different than the commercial market.
Correct.
Extremely different.
Yes.
So it's been a great learning experience for me. I've always loved construction. I loved being in the construction space, but now in the commercial space, it's just fascinating to me. And there's literally not a day that goes by that I don't learn something new. So I love it.
And people have always kind of considered you a connector from where you first started off. Tell everybody a little bit about your life growing up and how you got into the associations and how you really got involved.
Yeah. Nobody goes to school to become an association executive director. There's no degrees for this. There's no programs at colleges or anything like that or technical schools. I was a journalism major, and I was actually in broadcast, but they were predicting the demise of broadcast even then.
Yep.
And so I thought, well, predicting the demise of writing even then. So I thought, well, I better do broadcast because writing is going to go, the newspapers are going to go the way of the dodo bird. So I've been telling stories and interested in stories right from the very beginning.
Nice.
So first couple jobs were in journalism. And then one day I answered an ad for a job for some industry associations, and it was the hospitality industry.
Yep, so, and we're part of that network as well.
Restaurant Association, hotel, lodging, resorts, and campgrounds. And I spent about a decade there, and I traveled the country doing this a little bit, and then ended up back at the Residential Construction Association, and then now at the Builders Exchange. But once I fell into this association world, I said, this is the thing I really love to do. Because you do get to write, you do get to communicate, but you get to build a community, and you get to know people in that community, and you get to support and enhance and help them develop their businesses. And that's really a joy.
Absolutely. Why don't we tell our viewers a little bit about a day in the life of what you do as an executive director at MBEX?
Well, it's so that
which varies every day.
Like everything, it varies every day. And sometimes people say, well, it's sort of the same, but it's different as well. MBEX is a small industry trade association. We've got about 1,200 members. We might be one of the larger commercial construction associations, but we got a budget of about $1.5 million, which makes us a relatively small industry trade association. And so I'm literally doing everything from, at one point, payroll, to responding to a request for information from the state or the workers' comp people, to figuring out why some technology in our plan room isn't working appropriately, to renewing memberships. So it's really, every day is unique and is different.
Yes.
And then we do, at MBEX, we like to say kind of there's three key areas of focus. The first one is our digital plan room. And that's really why most people join. They want access to projects. We're their lead gen system. We can talk more about that. The second one is connections, and that's done through the industry events. And that's still a really important part of the construction industry. And you just have to build and strengthen those relationships. And then the third is really providing some information to the industry. We try through our weekly newsletter, magazines, blog, whatever. We try to give good content and quality information to the members so they can really better transact business and grow their businesses.
Absolutely. So you've been in the industry for quite some time, but what do you see going forward looking for 2025? Do you see some growth, and do you see some more excitement coming back into the Twin Cities?
I do. Yeah. It's interesting. 2024 for us, we track the number of projects that we process every year. And last year was a record year. We did 4,900 projects came through the Builders Exchange.
Wow.
And that's all projects then that the members have access to consider whether they want to bid on those projects or not. That's about the highest we've had in I don't know, 20 since we've been tracking, and easily 20 years. We also had a really strong year for membership. We had 140 new companies join, and that's the most since the year of COVID. Why we had 145 in COVID. I think there was nothing else to do.
Nothing else to do.
Might
right?
as well join your industry trade association. So it was a really strong year in 24. Now we're looking at 25. I think it slowed down at the end of 24, and I do think some of the private work slowed up a little bit, but the what we call public work, which is any city, county, township, community hospitals, anything that's financed with public money has still stayed relatively strong. Road construction has still stayed pretty strong. And we're seeing some pretty enthusiastic members and some pretty good optimism for 2025. I think it's going to be a strong year for the industry.
Awesome.
And we're really excited about that. We're always dependent on the economy.
Yeah.
We're always dependent on whether the state has a bonding bill and whether there's, public money, federal, state, county, local. But it feels like it's going to be a pretty strong year in 2025. And I think, labor continues to be a struggle, right?
Sure does.
A lot of people are retiring. A lot of the boomers are moving on. And we've just, for years and years, we told every kid that they should go to a 4-year college. And so MBEX offers up some scholarships for young people that are looking to get into the industry. And in particular, we're focused on the trades.
How do those kids go about and work and get into the scholarship system to try to be a nominee for it?
Yeah, we send out to every high school in Minnesota, and we send to the counselors, and we send to any faculty that we're aware of that's in the construction space. They might not even offer a full construction program. It might just be a class in electricity,
for sure,
or a welding class, or the old what we would call shop class. And we go to those instructors and say, if you've got any kids that are interested in pursuing this as a career, please consider us for scholarships. And of course, we're not the only ones. Many other industry associations are also offering scholarships.
Yes.
And that's fantastic. It's great. If you're a young person looking to get into the trades in the Twin Cities or even throughout Minnesota, there's a surprising amount of money available for you to give consideration to. So a plug for kids out there, young people out there. I call them kids, but it's really young people. And it's interesting because a lot of these are folks who really have already done something. They've been out in the field doing whatever it is they started doing, and they figured out it wasn't their deal.
Which is not kid, but everybody growing up, when they say, what do you want to be when you get older? I don't know. I'm going to just try some things and we'll see.
So they try it. So I think the average age at Dunwoody and Hennepin Tech and some of these others is upward of 26, 27 years old. So these are pretty mature individuals who've now decided to make construction their career. And we're just so happy to be able to give them some resources, some capital, some money to help them do that. And then we also ask them to come to an event.
Absolutely.
We want them to, again, that relationship.
And I've met quite a few of those at those events, and it's great to see their enthusiasm for wanting to get out there.
They're pretty impressive young people. They are really sharp young people. So I think 25 is going to be really a strong year, Chris. I'm excited about it.
It's amazing. I think I've noticed too, being out in the industry the last couple of years, there's definitely been a shift this year, and so much excitement when you go into places and people ready for the year and ready to get going, and jobs are starting to drop a little bit more, and everybody wants things done yesterday. And yes.
And there's an anticipation that interest rates are going to drop.
Yep.
Maybe they're not going to drop as much as people had hoped, but I think they've tempered. Of course, nobody knows what's going to happen in the world of tariffs, and there's a lot of uncertainties, so there's always these headwinds that you have to be cautious about. But nonetheless, I think by and large, people are feeling, hey, the election's over, some of that uncertainty has disappeared, and it just feels like we're ready to pop.
Right. Well, and employers having their employees back to work a little bit more than what they used to be is a big thing too, because there's a lot of empty buildings. So the rebuilding of those buildings to make them accommodating and available for people to come and go too.
Yeah, I think renovation and remodeling, as you suggest, is going to be really strong in 25.
Yep.
We've also seen that industrial construction is really strong, continues to be manufacturing. Investment in manufacturing capacity is strong. I think office will still struggle, but it's picking up. And you're starting to see those occupancy rates go up. And people want, Class A space or Class B space. So now that means I need to renovate.
Right. And open floor plans too. That's the big thing with workers coming and going and being more hybrid.
Right.
They have to have easy open workspaces.
Right. So you need a little conference room over here. You need a hoteling capacity over here. You need some offices over here, and not
carts with computers so you can roam all around.
And you're not constructed like that. And so you're doing a renovation or you're doing a remodel to make your office attractive so that your employees want to be there and want to engage with each other. Sure, you can make them come back, but isn't it more efficient if you do it and advisable if you do it in a way that you've also got a facility where they want to be there? So I do think renovation is going to be strong in 25.
That's exciting.
I think still that industrial space, that warehouse space, we see a lot of that still. Retail's been surprisingly strong.
Technology.
And investment in technology and large data centers.
Yep, very large data centers, yes.
Unbelievable. One of our members is Vite Construction, and I was talking to one of our board members, and she's working at she's one of these data centers. I think she said there's 1,000 electricians on site at this job site. It's amazing.
It is. And the way the world's going, it's awesome to see so many different construction fields, residential fields, everybody turning towards that to work smarter and not harder.
Right.
Which is always a good thing.
Right. The way, we get a lot of questions about where do we get our projects?
Yes.
Speaking of the types of projects in the industry. So almost any public project, we've been around since 1888. So it's 136 years. So people just know about the Builders Exchange, and architects send us things and engineers send us things. And general contractors, GCs will send us projects because they need bids from their trade contractors. So public work, meaning work that's going to require a bid process, we get almost all of it. The bigger challenge is private work, and that's always hard to come by.
Right.
You're building a veterinary clinic, and maybe you went to University of St. Thomas and your buddy did too, and he or she is a, contractor. Right. So that's who you're going to call to do this.
Framer or whomever
do this work. So what we're doing is scanning every city council agenda and all their minutes, and every planning and zoning committee agenda and minutes in Minnesota. And we're looking for clues about upcoming work and projects. And we produce a once-a-month newsletter. We call it the Pre-Bid Pipeline. And it's maybe 80 to 120 projects that are in their early stages.
Nice.
There may not even be maybe
phase one or whatever.
Right. There may be an architect, maybe not. They might just be going in with sort of a napkin.
Yep.
And they're in council and they're seeking a zoning change or some kind of approval. So we're gathering that and presenting that to our members too, and starting to put that on the plan room, because we are getting a lot of requests for that private work as well as the public work.
So where all are you guys located? You've got your Minnesota Builders Exchange. You have the Rochester Builders Exchange, Duluth.
Yeah, so it's interesting, the history of exchanges. Obviously, in the old days, you had to go to a physical location to unroll the plans, to take a look at these blueprints.
Put it on the big
pull the pencil out from behind your ear. You probably had a cigarette hanging out of your mouth.
Or a couple, yes.
Yeah, from the stories that I've heard, and some of this.
That's the newspaper world too, as we know. I was in that before, yes.
Predates me, but we used to have all kinds of characters in our office every single day. Estimators from all the major general contractors and third-party estimating services. Well, all of that changed when the world went digital. And so the need for those physical plan rooms and a presence, unique presences around the state diminished. So a lot of them merged to become the Minnesota Builders Exchange. So St. Cloud is part of Minnesota.
Yep.
Duluth is part of the Minnesota Exchange now. Really, Mankato, the only one that's really left uniquely and independently is the Rochester Builders Exchange. And they're tied in with their Home Builders Association. Right. And we're gonna do a regional workshop in Rochester here in about a month, and we're partnering with them. We don't see that as competitive at all.
Right.
If you want to do business in
There's work for
Rochester,
everybody.
we probably have a lot of the stuff they do. They have a lot of the stuff we do, but you want to meet contractors in your community.
Correct.
In that case, Rochester Builders Exchange might be the right place for you.
Yeah.
So it's really the only other local exchange left behind the Minnesota Builders Exchange. There is a Fargo-Moorhead exchange and a couple in Wisconsin. And we're not really part of the same, we're a family in the sense that we all are builders exchanges, but we're not really connected. We do get together once a year and talk.
Well, yeah, you got to say this is what we have going on and kind of make sure those lines are all matching.
And what's happening in the world of software and what's changing. It's really a lot about technology.
So how do you keep your members and or people that are out there that want to join trained and up on the plan room and how to use it and things like that? Do you have different courses?
Such a great question. And I have to say that it's frustrating when somebody joins and we really want them to be successful and they don't go in and set up their filters or set up their back end so that they can feed themselves. We want you to get projects that are going to help you be successful. And the only way that's going to work is if you go into the back end and put into the filtered system the things that you care about. If you do cement, you got to put a cement filter in there. If you do acoustical ceiling tile, that should be in your filter. And if you only want to work in a certain geography, that should be in your filter too. So we do a once a month plan room demo that, believe it or not, a lot of the existing members take because they just haven't really spent,
refresh.
We're busy. We're all busy. We we always sign up for something and then we don't.
Now I've got to look through the whole plan instead of just like A4.
Right. So you don't want to be looking at, 200 projects when the reality is there's only 20 that are impactful for your business.
Right.
So I would just encourage if people do join the exchange and they want to participate, set those filters up so that it serves you. What's new this year in 25 for the exchange is you can have an unlimited number of users.
Nice.
And that didn't used to be the case. So if you have 5 people in your office that are looking for different kinds of work or maybe different geographies, each of those people can set up their own unique filter system. And that'll kick back projects to them every night based
specific
on
in their area,
specific to their area.
Filters,
I was talking to one member the other day, and he's got 4 or 5 people that are all doing geographical stuff. So they only want the north part of the state.
Got it. Makes sense.
They only want south. These guys do a little bit of eastern Iowa, and so they want to pick that up. So that's one way we keep them informed. We do a weekly e-newsletter, and we put some tips and tricks in there too.
Okay.
So if you read that, you'll pick up an idea
and in there
or two.
You have your industry events and everything else as well.
And then when you have the events, you hear a lot of times people get together and they're kind of, how do you do this? How do you do that? Where do you get this from? Where do you get that from? And so we love hearing about that. It's so fun to be at an industry event and actually watch business take place.
Yeah, it is.
It's like, great.
Wow, my worlds are coming together for once.
Somebody will say to somebody else, we're doing this project. You guys should think about bidding on this project. And that's really fun.
It's invigorating to see when everything kind of falls in place and it all starts rolling together.
Right.
And then those projects get done and you're like, wow, that was really a cool project.
Right. On the filters, by the way, one of the things we do that's unique in the plan room world, there are private sector companies that offer some of the services we do. They do a great job. We go one step further than most in that we take that specification document and those plans and we split them apart.
Oh, nice.
By sections or by pages. so that when you search on that filter, you won't miss a thing.
You're going to get just the
and
exact takeoff
you're going to
that
get
you need.
exactly
Yep.
what you want. Yeah. And you don't have to Control F and search through 150 pages of PDF to find any reference to, whatever it is you do, electrical or plumbing, whatever it is. Yeah.
Let's skip forward a little bit and talk about your board members and how all that works and how people can get involved if they want to get involved once they are a part of Minnesota Builders Exchange.
It's a great question. So I would say first and foremost, just come to some activities, get to know some people, build your connections, build your relationships. It will be worth it. You will derive business out of doing that. It might take a while. You got to be consistent at it. You can't just go once and say nothing happened.
People forget about you.
Right. You gotta be there, but it will work. It really does work if you leverage it and use it. And then we do have committees that help plan our fall social and our spring social and our clay shoot and our golf event and all those things. We do those up north in Duluth, and we do them in the cities too.
Nice.
So you can certainly volunteer on a committee or even just volunteer for the day. If you say, well, I don't have time to do a couple committee meetings, but maybe that day you could sell a raffle ticket or two.
Yep.
And that money all goes to promote the scholarship.
The scholarships, yeah.
So you could do that. Certainly that's a easy 1 hour or 2 hour commitment to the enterprise. If you want to get more into the leadership of the organization, every year there's a nominating committee, and they are looking for people who are interested in supporting the organization and providing their expertise and really some strategic direction.
Yeah.
To the Builders Exchange as an industry trade association. We're a nonprofit. We're run by a board of directors.
Perfect.
I'm very fortunate to be the chief staff person, but I take my direction from a board that says, Dave, these are the things that
what we need.
Yeah, this is what we need. These are the things that are important and they're going on in the industry right now. You need to know these things, and then we as an association need to respond to those things. So just as an example, at our recent annual meeting, we had an attorney giving our members an update on, just a few of the things that are changing in Minnesota statute that you want to be aware of as you get into 2025, and you don't want to get caught flat-footed. That's the kind of information or insight we try to provide just to help our members stay up to date.
For sure, and I think that's important too, just not only on the end of what you need, but also what they're asking for as members. That's a big thing too.
Right. And we do some education, limited. There are other groups that do much more in-depth education, emerging leaders kinds of things.
Right.
We're really focused on document reading, plan reading, little bit on kind of blue beam review, doing some preliminary stuff on how to do a takeoff and estimating, really introduction to estimating and takeoffs. That's pretty much the extent of the educational offerings that we have. I'd say there's other associations to go to if you're looking to get deeper into certain areas, probably other places, AGC, MCA, MSA.
And there's a lot of
ABC.
associations out there.
Yes, in the construction space, there are many, many. One of the things we're really focused on, our incoming president is Heidi Sedlacek from KLJ Engineering. She's tremendous. And one of the things she's really focused on is building connections with and between the associations. Yep. So the regional meetings we're doing with the Electrical Association and the Concrete Council, and we're doing a Meet the Estimator event.
Yeah, and that's the first time where they're all pulling together too, like MSA and MCA,
Subcontractors Association, Minnesota Construction Association, and MBEX are doing a Meet the Estimators event.
February 5th?
Yes, it is. Yep. February 5th at Gresser. So that's new for us too, and that's really fun. It is. Working with the sister associations to try to serve the industry, fantastic. Love doing it.
Because I think I notice in my world with all the associations that we're a part of, everybody always comes to me and they're like, what works?
Yeah.
And you just got to say it all does. You've got to be omnipresent. You've got to be, but you have to be active at those events.
Yes.
And you have to be willing to go to them. I don't care if I'm doing 8 or 9 events in a day. It is what it is. But making those connections and making them last, having that connection of, I remember you, I remember your name, but when you see those associations all working together, that's really heartening.
We always hold you guys up as the model.
Oh, great. Here we go.
Yeah, well,
no,
because people ask and they're like, well, how do you do this? And I say, I don't know how they do it, but they do it really well. So I think you're an example of just getting engaged, getting active, being present, and sort of people just begin to know you, and then they begin to refer you, and that's how this thing works.
I think the trick of your game and my game is remembering those people that know you.
Yes.
It's like, hey, Karissa, or hey, Dave, how you doing? I'm like looking for the logo, the work truck, something. I'm like, perfect.
There are those moments when a member comes up to me and they know me and I don't know them, and that's an embarrassing situation.
Well, it's like you have kids too. I'm like, are you a parent of one of the friends, or how do I know you? You just ask those open-ended questions.
But it does happen, and when you have 1,200 members, you can't remember them all, but you wish you could.
Yeah.
And we think there's still an opportunity to grow. We're trying some unique things with email marketing, and it's amazing how many commercial construction companies exist in Minnesota and the 5-state region. We derive plans from just the 5 states.
Okay.
So we're Minnesota, North Dakota, South Dakota, Wisconsin, Iowa.
Yep.
If you said, I'm looking for project work in Montana or Kansas or something, we would not be a source for you.
Yep.
But in the 5 states, we're going to be a pretty good resource for you to secure projects and find things to consider bidding on. But that means that the pool of potential members is pretty substantial.
Yes.
It's large.
And it's ever growing.
And we focus mostly on Minnesota, but we do actually have some members from other states.
Nice.
And sometimes we have suppliers who join, and manufacturers, reps, and distributors, and they're doing it often so that they can look at these plans and specifications and say, aha, you've got this project specified on this particular construction project.
Sure.
This is the product that you've specified, but would you consider this as an alternative?
Yep.
And so then they want to get to the architect, or they want to get to the engineer, they want to get to the construction manager and see if they can't be assigned as an equivalency.
For sure.
In those plans and specs. So a fair number of our members come from that distributor and manufacturers rep world. Mm-hmm. And they try to leverage the exchange for those reasons.
What do you see for the future with technology and with growth and everything like that? Do you see staying just within the 5-state area, or do you see locking it down more, going out more?
I think for us, the 5 states works really well. Like everybody, we're trying to understand AI better.
Yep.
And
smart ways to do it.
We just aren't sure yet how AI is going to influence the plan room, but I'm convinced in the next several years it will.
Absolutely.
So we're doing a lot of deep dive into kind of how could we leverage AI more effectively, or how could it be useful? You could envision a world where our members would almost be having a conversation with a project.
Yeah. While they're there and sort in 3D and everything, all the renderings.
Right. Sort of asking the project questions and the project answers through AI. Sounds a little weird, but that could
Makes
be
sense.
could
That's
be
virtual reality.
Yeah, it could be coming. So we're just doing a lot of thinking and trying to understand how we could deploy AI. And I think that's probably probably the single biggest technology change. We get a lot of compliments on our plan room right now. People tell us all the time, I hear this from members, like, we've tried them all. Yours is the easiest. Yours is the simplest. Don't change a thing.
Right. Technology changes, people change.
We're like Mancini's. You can't charge 5 cents more for a cup of coffee.
Right. You tweak it one little way, and those little followers will be
everything else
happy.
goes nuts. So we're trying, but technology changes, and you have to change with it. And then the other thing that we're kind of looking at is we don't use a very sophisticated management tool for our database of our members.
Got it.
And we do think that there's an opportunity to maybe look at more of an association management platform that we're not using today, that might tell us a little bit more about each member,
Give you the personas at least, too, so you know where.
Help us better assess who's deeply engaged, who's not, who should we reach out to say we're not.
Can help you reach out to them without you.
We're not seeing you where we want to see you. Yeah, so we're looking at that too. Couple of big
exciting
technology. Yeah.
Which is exciting in a lot of people's world, but on the same end, trying to bridge the gap from the people that are not technology driven.
Yes.
To get them on board and at least get them fluent with it, or
it's
find
so
a happy
hard.
medium.
We were just talking about this morning. We had a member, one of my staff was on the phone with a member and just struggling, trying to explain, well, which browser do you use? Well, what's a browser?
Right?
Oh, Lord,
I have my pen and paper and my napkin here.
This is not going to be easy.
No,
so it's just very difficult, and there's no easy solutions to this.
There's not. and especially when you see like the older generations trying to hand down their companies to the younger generation.
Right.
When all their paperwork is paperwork and it's not in the computer. And
we were sort of sitting there saying, gosh, do they not have a son or daughter or grandson or granddaughter or niece or is there someone they can...
Can I come to your house and help you? Yes.
Yes. Can they come to your house and help you? Because they're frustrated. They're trying to get into the plan room. They want to access the information, and you have to have some technological savvy to be able to do it. Sometimes we're telling somebody
I can't just print off all the plans for you on paper anymore. That's not a thing.
We're like, you might have to clear the cache in your browser. That one. We
can do that for you. Yep.
That's a tough one. So we do. I mean, if people want to come in and they really need help, we'll do that. And then the online demos, at least if you can get in, it's Zoom, it's live. You can. I usually lead them, or Ashley in our office leads them. You can literally watch us set up filters.
Ashley's amazing too, by the way.
She's terrific.
Yes,
terrific. And so you can watch us set up a filter. You can watch us pull projects down.
Nice.
You can watch us look at them and. We're doing a neat thing in partnership with the National Association of Minority Contractors Upper Midwest, where they're bringing a number of their members in to see the plan room, access the plan room, and get some training so that we can support those minority contractors seeking to get into the industry. And we're kind of excited about that. Marvin Smith is their elected president.
Marvin is a great,
and he's just great.
Being,
just a great person. He's hugely supportive of the Builders Exchange. And so we're trying again to build those connections and those relationships. We do get asked, not infrequently, whether we have a record of minority contractors, women-owned contractors, veteran-owned. And one of the new features in the plan room is you can go in on the back end, put in your own, you can change your staff, change your record,
your profile,
and you can change whether you can assign whether you're a VBE, veteran business enterprise, minority business enterprise. So again, if any members are listening and they haven't done it and they are union and they want to designate that, or minority owned, they should go in and do that, because we do get requests for information.
Do you guys go out to the local universities and or like Dunwoody, Summit, anywhere like that, and do courses or anything like that will help them get involved in the trades or that are already in the trades? We
don't. We kind of have supported an organization called Project Build Minnesota, which is a nonprofit whose sole purpose and focus is to try to recruit and bring young people into the industry. And there's a website, projectbuildmn.org, I think. And they go out to classrooms.
Perfect. Yep.
So they're in classrooms educating young people about opportunities. And one of the things that Project Build has done each year for the last 3 or 4 is a construction teachers conference.
Got it.
Which is really cool. It's a once-a-year event. Inviting all of the construction faculty from high schools and colleges in Minnesota into an annual conference so they can share with each other. Get together. We've actually hosted it out at the Builders Group TBG in Eagan.
Nice.
And I think it'll be there again this year. It's in April.
Okay.
And then the other thing Project Build is talking about doing is bringing all of those talent acquisition people who work for all of these different construction companies together to share, to the extent that they're willing, to share their best practices.
Which is good, because everybody needs to be on the same wavelength.
Right.
They all have to be teaching and
And
understanding
recruiting
things.
is a huge issue.
It is.
And getting into schools is a monster. It takes a lot of time and a lot of energy. It's a big commitment. So the more that are doing it, the more that are actively engaged in it, the better.
How do you guys go about recruiting more members and things like that? Or what do you foresee for the future?
We track kind of how do people find out about the exchange.
Yeah.
Number one is through referrals,
Yep.
which is amazing to me.
Right.
I've been with associations for decades now, and this is the first association I've ever been a part of where the members actually kind of are the lead source for more members.
Oh, absolutely.
It's always, usually you have to have a salesperson. We don't
You
have.
don't need to, right?
We don't have an
Or not right now anyway.
not now. We don't have the resources, and we just get a lot of activity from people who recommend us.
Mm-hmm.
GCs will say you should belong. One contractor, somebody will go to a different business and say we used to be part of MBEX, and
Well,
so
now that you're going together with MCA and MSA
Yeah.
and different, like meet the estimators and things too, that'll help.
So we get a lot of referrals, and then the second thing we're doing that we haven't done before is obtaining some lists of construction companies. And we're getting that through the Department of Labor and Industry and just Army Corps of Engineers, a variety of places where we're getting lists of contractors. And we're working with a platform that does a sort of an email drip campaign.
Got it.
We don't want to bug them. We don't want to be a problem.
Right.
We don't want to anger them.
Nope.
But we want to get in front of them and say, are you aware of what the exchange can do?
Yeah.
Do you think we're a good fit?
Mm-hmm.
We're a really soft sell. Like either it works or it
Right. Well,
doesn't.
and it does. If like a lot of other associations or unlike a lot of other associations, you have to get in there and do the footwork to
Yeah.
make it work, though.
Yeah, you do. And I tell people that. I say, if you're going to pay membership dues to us and join and never go in and set your filters and never log into the plan room and never come to an event,
Right.
you really might as well save yourself $1,000
Absolutely, right.
and don't do it. Because what's going to happen is a year later, you're not going to renew.
Nope.
I'll be sending you invoices or statements. You'll be frustrated.
You'd be like, why am I doing this?
We'll
But
be frustrated.
You're not doing
Right.
all the work to make it happen.
So we really do say that we want to be of practical use to you and success in your business. If
Absolutely.
you're going to join, participate and get active and get engaged, at least at some level. Be sure to get in the plan room and at least look at some stuff. Set a few filters up, maybe come to an event. Yeah.
If not, you have a member association directory too that they can always look and see if they met someone at one of those events. That's
do.
a nice way for them to connect too.
We do, and we're just at work. Literally, I was talking to Ashley. We're just at work on the 25 edition,
Yep.
starting February 1. We do renewals of our dues in December, January. We have to let people have an opportunity to pay.
Right.
And then once that's done, then we put the directory together. So it'll probably be out in March, maybe at the very
Which
latest.
is exciting because a lot of members, a lot of times I'll be out there and I'll be like, okay, I don't remember John's last name and I just met him and how can I quick email him out?
I know we've gone digital in so many ways. I'm still surprised at how many people value the printed membership
Yeah.
directory.
Yeah.
Yeah, we talk about it every year. We say, should we do it? Should we? It's a lot of work.
Well, you can keep it in the car too. That's an easy
Right.
thing too. Like just keep a copy in there.
Right.
Digital is easy and it's nice to have there
Right.
too, but not a lot of people are always in front of their computer. And if you're trying to do the digital from the phone,
That's correct.
That's the hard part.
It's hard.
Yeah.
So I am surprised actually at how many people literally tell us that they still use the good old fashioned
Yep, the
sort
old
of
phone book.
yellow
Yep.
pages of contractors, and if they're looking for subcontractors or other folks that they want to connect with, there's actually a section in the directory where you put the type of work that you do.
Nice.
And that's very helpful for people.
That
So
is.
for now, we're going to keep doing it. As long as the members
As
tell
long
us
as they want it,
they
yeah.
want it, we're going to do it.
Kind of not really like the newspaper industry where that goes away and everything goes digital.
Yeah. I think if we do move to an association management tool that's a little more sophisticated, it'll probably have an online directory
Yeah.
too, which we don't have a very effective one.
Right.
But I still think people want that printed guidebook.
They get excited about them.
At least today. 5 years from now, we don't know.
Might be a paperweight, who knows? But
right.
For the people that are the older members that still like to look things up or just keep them in their car or whatever, it's nice to have.
That is correct. And the other thing we're hearing that I find really interesting is that the younger people in the industry are really looking for ways to network.
Absolutely.
And so we've had a request to start up. We had a young professionals group before COVID. COVID sort of kiboshed that. And now we're bringing that back in 2025 because we're hearing from young folks in the industry that they want an opportunity to connect and to network. And some of them don't even know how to do it. So we're actually even looking at, do we even offer up maybe a session on literally how to network? But if you went to school and you spent a couple of years doing it virtually and you didn't,
you lose that. Or maybe knowing what's coming in the future with all the computers, you have to have that personal connection and you have to be able to get out there and put yourself out there.
So interestingly enough, even though we've got a world of phenomenal social media opportunities, and even though we've got ways to connect digitally that are just amazing, there is a desire for this, back face to face. Yeah, there is.
I've noticed that. I mean, a lot of the events, especially this year, they're just completely packed. Where last year slowly was kind of coming back in, they're full.
Yeah, so we're doing this Young Professionals Network, and again, if there are people in the industry that are in their 20s or 30s on up to I think 40, I don't know what their threshold is, but and you're interested, that would certainly be something to check out.
How do they check that out, or where do they find that?
Our staff person is Melanie Hendrickson. If they go to our website, mbex.org, they can just look up our staff, and Melanie is the person who's running the Young Professionals Network. And I was meeting with the Architects Association maybe 2 weeks ago, and they have an emerging professionals group, same concept. And they were so excited about the idea of getting their emerging professionals group together with the Young Professionals Network from MBEX, because they cross paths, and maybe the folks who've been in the game for 30 years kind of have those relationships built, but those newcomers don't.
Well, I know in like the property management side of the world and the real estate side of the world, they always go together with their young professionals and put them together and do events to get them all in one because they all connect. So just getting more people out there and having there's work for everybody.
Right.
It's not always just a competition.
That's correct. And interestingly enough, on our plan room, for example, we list all the bidders on a project or as many bidders as we know.
Yeah.
We don't actually know if you bid. We know you've downloaded the plans. We know you've gone to a pre-bid meeting.
If they haven't selected bidding, not bidding.
Yeah, we know you've expressed some strong interest. And it's amazing how many contractors will contact other contractors to think about packaging up or working together or bidding together in some capacity. It happens a lot.
I think it gives the bidder, like on our side too, like if we can see who else is bidding on the project or who else has opened it up, to reach out and say, hey, I see you're doing this and this is another scope of our work. Can we put it together with you, or just touching base?
That's correct. And we'll see that happen a lot. You can actually go to the plan room and you can click on those bidders and you can send them an email and say, we'd like to work together. And then the other thing that there's a fair amount of interest in, we've really just started doing this about 1.5 years ago, where we get the bid tabs, where we actually get the bid results on a public project. Private, you won't get this, but public, you fairly often do. We'll actually post those bid tabs.
Nice.
So you can go into a project, it's a school being built in Washington County, something like that. You can actually see the bids for painting, and here's the 5 different companies that bid, and here's the difference and the distinction between that pricing. And that helps you.
It does. So you can compare apples to apples too, and what if you're missing something, if you're not.
Right, correct. And if maybe you bid on that project and you didn't get it, how high were you?
Instead of going back to the contractor and having that conversation, you can see it all there too.
Right. Or maybe maybe you did get the project, but you realize you could have actually bid a little higher.
Yep, you learn.
Maybe you bid a little low on that
Yep.
project, and you left a little money on the table, and you just learn that by looking at those bid tabs over time. So that's another way that people leverage the plan room.
How long do those stay up for after you've bid?
We put a project up, it goes into archive pretty quickly, but we can pull it back if you need it.
Okay.
And we get a lot of that. We get a lot of requests from people who say, I won the project. It might be 6 months. I won the project, but I forgot to download all the plans and specifications, or I downloaded them and I can't find them anymore. Yep. Would you put the project back up online? And so literally we can have it back up in probably 2-3 minutes.
Nice.
We can flip a switch essentially and put it back up. Then you can download the plans.
Download it all over again.
All over
Right.
again because you forgot what you did 6 months. It happens literally every day.
I'm sure, yes.
Every day. And so again, if you say, wow, I wonder if they had bid tabs on this project 6 months ago. It was a school. We'd like to see how we did or see how others did.
Right.
You can ask us to bring it back up and we'll do that.
Nice.
Yeah. The last piece I'll mention about the plan room that's kind of fun. I just like these features on the plan room.
Well, it's exciting because that's something different that not a lot of plan rooms have.
We have a place where you can go search by company type. It is essentially a directory, but it's both members and non-members because when we list bidders on a project, we don't, whether you're a member or not, it doesn't matter.
Okay.
We'll list them all. And so if there are 10 companies, electrical companies or HVAC plumbing companies that bid, we'll put all 10 of those in as bidders on the project. And then they become part of our list of HVAC plumbing companies.
Which is good for you guys because then you can also...
We can go solicit them for membership.
Yeah,
So when we talked about securing more members, that's one other place we're taking this... these bidders that we've been entering into the system for years, and we're finally starting to leverage that and say, well, gee, maybe it's a fit for membership.
Maybe I've seen you bid on 6 or 7 of our projects. There might be more out there for you.
Maybe you want to join. I'd say one other thing that's changing broadly in the industry is and it's a balancing act. We hear a lot about there's the design, bid, build world. And I think that there's a push to move more to the design build world.
Right.
And not do quite as much formal bidding, but hire maybe a general contractor who gets bids from the subs. The world of bidding is changing.
It does, and it is for sure.
And so we see that. I don't know what that means for the exchange or what it means for the industry. I think the theory is if you can bring in the general contractor and maybe even some key trades,
let them be the one-stop shop
earlier. They can
solicit their own. Too.
Right. So we get a lot of plans and specs from general contractors who need want additional subcontractors to bid on those projects, and they're the construction manager at risk or the construction manager as agent, and then they leverage us at the exchange as a way to get into the trade contractor world.
Which is nice too, because if the GC only wants you to bid on everything and you can't do everything, then you can help pull those trades in that do that all for them.
That's correct.
Yeah.
And if you have to be bonded oftentimes when you're bidding, if you've maxed out your bond capacity, maybe you can't bid because you're not able to be bonded for that project.
So then just say yes.
Yeah. So then the GC needs somebody else. It's such a fascinating, the whole world of commercial construction is just, I love it.
Well, going from hospitality to residential to commercial is a big step too. And it's kind of interesting just to see how it all is starting to kind of go together, because a lot of times you'll have the commercial in the residential areas now.
Right.
All the apartment buildings and all the grocery stores and everything else too.
We do a lot of retail. We get a lot of multifamily coming through the exchange because oftentimes that involves some form of public financing in some capacity. And so there might be a low-income housing tax credit or city money or county money or federal money or state money involved in that from Minnesota Housing Finance. And so then there is a bid process for that multifamily. And even though it's sort of a private project, ultimately be owned and managed by somebody, it's leveraging public.
It's leveraging public money,
money. And so we get a lot of those projects in too.
Which a lot of those are coming through. I mean, every day there's areas growing with more and more building up instead of out.
Yes, there's certainly, from my days in the Residential Construction Association, there's a push for greater density.
Yep.
Smaller units, smaller lot sizes, more townhomes, twin homes, multifamily, and less single family. And it's just become so expensive.
It has. I mean, with the younger generations, you start to wonder how they're going to be able to afford it when they get up there, and how many jobs they're going to have. But we did it and we figured it out. So guess what? They'll hawk newspapers in the corner.
Yes, they'll find a way. They're all going to live together in one house for a while.
Generational house. Yep. We'll have multiple people there.
And then they're going to figure this whole thing out. But yeah, so we get a lot of those multifam projects coming through as well.
Good.
It's fascinating. I'd love to be able to sort of highlight some of the projects we get more effectively, and maybe someday we'll figure out a way to do that. We don't have a system today, but boy, there's some interesting and beautiful things that get built in this state.
Well, the shopping center world, as far as the restaurants coming in, things like that, those are still flowing. Like those are coming in, the hair salons, everything like that.
Yes, retail's been strong. Retail's actually been, I think, surprisingly strong. We hear about everybody buying everything online, and yet we still see, strong retail presence and consumers still wanting to go out and actually look at things and actually try things and have the experience of being being at a restaurant. So it's surprisingly enough, again, retail's remained pretty strong. Let's, fingers crossed for 25.
Yeah. I mean, it sounds exciting. It's fun when you start doing traveling 23, 24 outside the state, see all the excitement in all the other states. And now when you come back to Minnesota in 25, that excitement is here. And they're ready to go. And they're ready to.
You have that experience more than I do, because you guys are so involved in. I mean, you're moving. You're in a lot of states, so that's a wonderful perspective to be able to bring all that back.
Yep. When you go to places, I mean, far away, close, anywhere like Iowa, the Dakotas, Florida, wherever you're at, even Montana, Colorado, everybody's super excited to grow. Minnesota kind of had they were growing a lot, but they weren't as excited as they were. And now you start getting to the events and you see the happiness and let's go, let's grow with everybody. That's fun to see. I
felt that we did our annual meeting I think on the 15th of January, and we had probably 20 to 30 more people than we did the previous year.
Turnout. Yep.
And the energy level was really high.
It was.
And that was fun. You could feel it.
You could anticipate it. You just knew it was there. Yeah.
Everybody was yapping and talking, and it was a good feeling.
Well, and it's nice to see competitors talking together and just seeing what they have out there, because there is work for everybody, and everybody has to come together to see that like, hey, this is where we're at. It's great to see you. It's good to get back out and everything like that too.
Couple joys of working in the association space. One is that you see people take on leadership positions, and maybe they're pretty shy at the beginning, and they don't speak in front of people much. And by the end of a term, they're really good at it. They've really grown a lot. And that's just a neat thing to see.
It is.
And the other thing that's fun to see is competitors. You might be battling, out in the parking lot, pretty aggressively. But when you come in underneath the roof of the association, you're there for the good of the industry.
Yeah.
And that's really that's one of the joys for me of working in a trade association.
Stories and helping out, because you never know when that person is going to need something from you or you're going to need something from them.
And, a lot of ribbing each other, because so many people do know each other. Maybe they worked over here before.
Well, and they float from here to there in every different aspect in the construction world. Yes.
So there's a lot of BS that flies back and forth.
Oh, absolutely. Especially when everybody's hungry these days.
And it's just fun to be part of that, to watch.
You can feel a little bit of the animosity, but that's exciting too. It's
it's a friendly, really genuinely friendly competition.
Yeah.
And I don't know that every industry enjoys that or has that privilege, and I really think that's unique to construction in my experience, and it is one of the great joys of being a part of the industry.
For sure.
Yes, you're a competitor, but but you really care ultimately about the quality of the product that's being produced, building communities, and you have fun with each other.
The client, the customer, you can bring it and put it on the table and let's go.
It's really, So I always tell people I'm very fortunate. I love the construction space and I love the world of associations.
Yes.
So I'm one of those lucky people that can't wait to get to work every day and really.
And I bet when you go home, you're a little bit tired.
I'm exhausted, but I love it.
Yes,
And then I get up and I'm ready to do it again.
Right. And even on the days when you're like trying to fake it, you're like, I got to do this. All of a sudden you get there and that energy is there and you bring it and you're like, all right.
Yeah, you can, and you get it from the members and you get it from the mission and the purpose of the organization.
Absolutely.
And that really does drive us. We talk a lot about that with our staff. We talk a lot about that with our board.
Well, and it's like, how can you change that in the years past? Like when COVID was going on, everybody was a little bit more down and just working from home, or they're coming in because they have to come in. Now they want to be there.
Right.
And they want to be happy. So how do we keep this going and keep them motivated?
Right. And some of it comes from some of the things you and I were talking about, which is just innovation and sort of new technology. That does energize.
It does.
It also scares people, but it also energizes them. And
because they think, hey, if I could have do something for me just like that, and I could delegate my time doing something else.
Just a little quicker.
Smarter, not harder.
Right. You get
Let's figure it out.
You get that 1% better every day.
Yes. You got to always learn, though. That's the trick of the trade. You never stop learning. I don't care what you're doing.
I think that's absolutely true. It's almost like the deeper you dive in, the more you know how much you don't know.
Right.
And it's sort of like this on the other side of that it narrows to a little point and then it opens wide open because all of a sudden you're like, oh my goodness, look at what I don't understand and look at how much I still don't know and I still could learn. So that keeps me going every day.
Yeah. And you also have to think outside the box. Like, what can we do new, different to keep going, to keep this association going, keeping our members happy, everything like that.
Yeah, my goal is, we've been around 136, 137 years.
Let's make it another 150.
I'd like, exactly. That'd be my goal. I won't be there.
Well, you never know with technology the way it's going.
but can we set the organization up so that it can survive and thrive and grow and adapt and still be relevant.
Absolutely.
In 5 and 10 and 20 and 50 and 100 more years.
Yeah.
So that's the that's the sort of the really the joy of doing what I do.
Absolutely. Well, we appreciate having you on today. How can they find you? How can they be a part of the association, join, find out more about it? So
I'd say the easiest thing, the easiest thing would be to go to the website, which is www.mbex.org, MBEX. You'll see a calendar of events. So you can take a look at all the events. You can give us a call. You'll see a list of the staff is up there and a list of the board. You can always talk to a board member. You can always talk to a staff member. You can send us an email. There's an info email address. And I'll just give my email is ds@mbex.org for
Very
Dave
easy.
Siegel. It's really easy. So if there's any way I can help, whether you're a member or not,
LinkedIn, social media, you're all there.
All there. Whether you're a member or not, the ultimate goal is the success of being in the construction space and growing the construction industry. So that's, we want to do that regardless. So whether you're a member or not, go ahead and reach out. If we don't have an answer, which we maybe don't, we'll try to find somebody who does.
Well, I think it's just a little bit of plug on your end, but it's always fun when you start going to the events and you know people. It makes it a little bit easier. If you don't, reach out to one of the members, reach out to a board member, reach out to somebody and get to know them. Then you can at least say somebody there instead of just being the
correct. And if you want to try the plan room out, there's a trial period. You can do a couple of weeks for free and just try it. We'll set up the filters with you, and you can actually get a nightly email to see if this thing is going to work for you.
Yep. Register for your email too.
Yeah, and then you can always come to an event, and we often have non-members come just to see what it's like.
Can members bring non-members?
They
to
can
help grow that?
They can. Obviously, we can't have somebody who's a non-member come to every event all year because then you're taking
what's the point of
what's the point of membership, and you're not being fair to those that are paying their membership dues. But if you want to come once or twice and come with a member just to see what it's like, and see if it's the right fit for you. We'd welcome you.
Perfect. That's easier than doing like a
Yep.
newcomer's lunch or something
Yeah,
like
we
that.
just come,
Yeah.
and we are kind of what we are, right?
Yep.
What you see is what you get.
And you'll see the same people sometimes
And
at a
you'll-
lot of the events
Yep.
with me, but
Yeah.
we'll be good.
Yeah, that's part of the fun of it.
Yeah, it is. Well, we appreciate having you on today.
thank
we
you for
look
having
forward
me.
to the future and can't wait to let our viewers see this on Wednesday, and then it'll go out on our Thursday newsletter, and we wish you the best of luck.
Well, thank you. I'm wishing everybody a terrific and strong 2025.
Yeah, here's to 2025. Thank you.
You're welcome. Thank you.